JHK here for the AllStar, and joining right now is UFC featherweight contender Hurricane Shane Burgos. Shane, it's good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm good. A little bit over, 10 days out now, so I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, big stage, NYC, Madison Square Garden. You've been there before. You're undefeated there. Back to back full arenas for you. You know what I mean? Does it feel like it's getting back to normal?
It does feel like that a little bit. The COVID fight was cool for like a minute, but I missed the crowd and that energy for that last fight in Houston was awesome. So I'm excited to have this one in my hometown. Even it's gonna be deafening. I mean, the first two times I fought there was wild. This time it's probably gonna be even crazier, honestly.
You gonna have your family there? Do you usually have your family at the fights?
Not my kids, but my wife will be there,
Okay.
and then I got a bunch of other family that's coming: cousins, uncles, nephews, uh, my mom, obviously my dad, my brothers, their girlfriends. Yeah,
You got people coming out the woodwork to get tickets or what?
I mean, yeah, but everybody knows at this point. This is my 10th UFC fight. Everybody knows I don't sell the tickets, so don't entertain anymore. Get on Ticketmaster.
All right. Shout out
Yeah.
to Ticketmaster. Now, man, your opponent. Let's jump right into him. Billy Quarantillo, a guy in a position that you could relate to, right? You're in that position where you're coming up, looking inside into the top 15, and you wanted to fight one of those guys. You know, what is it like for you? What was it like for you when you were in his position on the outside looking in?
Uh, I completely. That's a great way to put it because I think I had the exact same record he has when I fought my first top ranked opponent. I fought Cub Swanson when I was 4-1 in the UFC, and I remember just hearing that name. I was like, "Holy shit, this is a fucking big one, man!" This it got me pumped, gave me goosebumps. So I can see where he's coming from, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to shut that down.
Yeah, you mentioned that Billy Q. He is 4-1 in the UFC. He's done really well. Got a good style. When did he pop onto your radar?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the sport. Everybody knows, so I've been watching him fight for a while now. I saw all five of his UFC fights just as a fan, and then I saw his fight in the Contender Series. So I've seen every one of his fights, and honestly, I got no problem saying this. I'm a fan of him, man. He approaches the fight game very similarly to the way I do, where ref says go, and he's fighting until he gets that finish, and I respect that. He seems like a nice guy. Got nothing bad to say about him. Like I said, I am a fan of his style.
What is your view of his style, though? When you break it down into, compartments, is it similar to any past opponents?
Um, no, yeah. I don't think it's too similar. I think this it's a different kind of style. Um, he's got good jiu-jitsu. I think that's his strongest suit, his jiu-jitsu. I think it's obvious that I'm going to try to keep his fight on the feet. I think I'm the better striker, so it's going to come down to the wrestling, and I think I have pretty good takedown defense. So I think I'm going to shut his takedowns down and make him force him to stand with me. And I like my odds on the feet. Not that he's a slouch on the feet or anything like that. The dude has power. You got to respect him, but I just think I'm more polished when it comes to the striking game.
The jiu-jitsu, you don't really show it too much, but, I'm pretty sure you're training it all the time.
All the time, man. Today was just an hour and a half, basically, of just straight jiu-jitsu off the wall, MMA wrestling off the wall. I've trained with high-level jiu-jitsu guys, too. Man, Shakira, Marcelo Garcia, black belt. I'm training with that dude 3 or 4 times a week. Julio Arce, the dude's nobody knows how good Julio's grappling is. That dude's grappling is ridiculous. Jimmy Rivera, we all know him. Yeah, so I'm training with phenomenal grapplers on a regular basis.
Now with Tiger Sherman's, man, it seems like all the fighters that is in your training camp actually have fights, maybe except for Jimmy Rivera. What has the environment been like the last couple of months?
Oh, it's been great, man. One of my best friends, Solomon Renfro, he just fought on the Contender Series last week. Came up short. Unfortunately, I thought the decision was a little bullshit, but it is what it is. He's already looking past it and getting ready to move on. And then he fought right before that. My brother fought. My younger brother, he just went 3-0 amateur. And then I'm fighting next week. I had another three teammates fight last Friday at Ring of Combat, and then Julio fights the week after me, and then Trezano fights in February. So we've all been in camp. It's just the energy's been great.
When you have a tight knit group like that and they go out to battle, you know what I mean? Do you have to prepare yourself mentally to kind of have them come back after a loss? You know what I mean? Because sometimes those losses can affect fighters. How do you separate that?
I never really thought about that honestly, but every one of us is different. We're as much as like we're all boys, we're all brothers. We're so different. We approach it so differently. So it's hard to say honestly.
Now, let's jump into the last fight, the Barboza fight. It was a very unusual ending. And, the brain is a very sensitive part of the body. What was the protocol they put you through before returning back to training?
Nothing. I saw two different neurologists, and I didn't even have signs of concussion. I treated it like it was a concussion. I take my brain health super seriously. I didn't do any sparring like that for months. I took my time coming back. I didn't rush back into it. I was doing my strength conditioning still. I was doing my cardio. I was doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling, but I was taking my time with the striking, not rushing back into getting hit in the head right after something like that. But like I said, I saw two neurologists, and they both said I had no signs of concussion, but we're going to treat it like that anyways, which is exactly what I did. But yeah, it was weird, man. I had no symptoms. I had no dizziness. I remember everything. I remember the shot that landed. I had no light sensitivity. It was just I don't know, just a freak fucking weird thing that like my body shut off before my mind wanted to. Like I remember being like, "What's going on here? Come on, stand up, get up." Oh, fucking, I hear my legs are off.
Yeah, one positive is that's why you're a fighter's fighter, man. Like fighters will say that you're their favorite fighter to watch, which is a huge compliment, I believe.
It is. It is. It is flattering to hear, but I don't want to just be known as a tough guy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I want
Of
to be. I want
course.
to be respected for not just being tough, but being a phenomenal fighter too.
So when you're visiting these doctors, right? Because a lot of people expected after that fight that you were gonna go through this long recovery and there was gonna be wires and tubes and all kinds of stuff going on, but there was nothing, man. So how hard was it for you to just sit back and not do anything? Because I know you wanted to get back.
I definitely wanted to get back, but the sparring part, I always after any fight, I always take a little bit of time off of sparring because it's not just about no matter how quick the fight was, you got to recover from the training camp. And I mean, I'm sparring twice a week, so you got to recover from all that wear and tear on your body. So that part wasn't too hard. And I got my kids and I got my wife, so they kept me busy. And I had a 3 week old at the time, so that kept me super busy. So just dealing with family and keeping busy on them, focusing on them. Because when it's fight camp, it takes a lot away from my family. So after a fight, I want to just give it back to them.
Yeah, if you have young children, they'll keep your mind off anything that's going on in the outside world, huh?
You have kids?
Yeah, I have a daughter.
Yeah, I have two exactly. One's 4, and yeah, exactly, a million miles a minute, and another one's she's only 6 months. She just turned 6 months today.
Is there a process after a loss that you take, or does it just linger with you and then that you carry that lingering effect into the next fight?
What do you mean lingering effect?
Like lingering effect is like like you lost, so you want it back so bad that there's some kind of anger in some ways, you know?
100%. When I sit down and I talk about it and I think about it, yeah, it fucking infuriates me. It makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Every single one of my losses, I had three losses, and all three of them are competitive fights, and I feel like I let all three of them slip through my fingertips, and that's something that's a tough pill to swallow, man. It really is. Like all three of those fights were really close fights. Like I very well could be 16-0 right now, but I came up short, and props to those guys for getting the job done. But it's just a hard pill to swallow. But it is what it is, and what can I do? The only thing I can do is try to grow from it, and I feel like I have.
And the guys that you lost to have been around the division, I believe, much longer than you have. So you're still in a way building yourself up. You know what I mean? You've seen it with like Beneil Dariush. He came up the division, then he kind of had to fight himself back
Oh,
up. Do you feel like you're in that process right now?
I do. That's a good way to put it. You got a lot of fighters like that nowadays.
Hmm.
Look at yeah, Glover, the guys fighting in the main event this
Yeah.
weekend. Glover, and yeah, Jan was 2-4 in the UFC, and now he's the world champ and the favorite going into the Glover fight. So it's pretty crazy. I don't think I'm exactly at that stage, and I don't ever plan on being at that stage. But I do think I still am building my way back to where I was and where I had that momentum going.
For sure. And looking back at that last performance, were there anything you were able to build off of when you entered back into training?
Yeah, for sure. I even coming off a loss, I gained a lot of confidence in that fight. I really did. I stood in there with one of the best strikers of all time, who has been in the UFC since I was in high school, and has been fighting at a higher weight class, and then just comes down, and it was a pretty surreal feeling, looking back at it in the moment. Not at all, but it's pretty cool. But like I didn't I feel like I can win that fight. That's a winnable fight. I don't feel like went out there and got my ass whooped and got completely outclassed. I feel like that's a competitive fight every single. If we fought 10 times, it's going to be competitive every single time, and I do gain a lot of confidence out of that because he is one of the best strikers. He's been in the UFC. He's proved it.
Yeah, I don't think he gets enough credit, man. I don't think Barbosa gets enough credit. Do you?
Yeah, he's so good, man. He's so good. He really is so fucking good. I got nothing bad to say about the guy. He's a great guy, great fighter. I've been a fan of his. Again, like I said, I remember watching the Terry Edom fight in high school. Like, crazy, yeah,
It is. It is nuts that you watch somebody in high school and then you're fighting them a few years
yeah,
later. And
yep.
you know, and speaking of Barboza and like Emmett, those guys, man, they're such at an elite level, and I feel like you fighting them and getting that cage experience. It's not like you fought them for one round. You fought both of them for almost 3 rounds, both. You know what I mean? So how important or how much of an advantage is it for you to have that experience against elite talent compared to someone that hasn't had that at all?
It's huge. That gives me so much more confidence. Honestly, so much more confidence that I've been in there with guys that are top 10, top 5 in the world, and like I said, I've held my own. Even when I've come up short, I've still been competitive in those fights, and it still irks me. I still lost the fights at the end of the day, so I can't be like, I'm not I'm not doing this shit just to be competitive with guys. You know what I mean? So even though I'm saying that, that doesn't hold too much weight to me exactly because I still lost those fights. Again, like I said, I didn't get my ass whooped. I do gain a lot of confidence. I would love to run those fights back. Obviously, who wouldn't want to run a loss back? But I gained so much confidence out of being able to put on those performances against those guys.
So you're in a position where, you know, I don't know if you need a win, but I'm pretty sure inside your mind you have to win this fight. So what performance do you need to have against Billy Q?
100%. I put myself in a must win position. I'm not a loser. Like, I mean, I don't take to losing kindly. I lost my last 2 fights, and that leaves like a pit in my stomach, just an empty feeling where, like, after a win, man, it's like you're on cloud nine. It's the best feeling in the world. And then after a loss, you did all that work, you cut the weight, you struggled, you sacrificed for so long. Yeah, you get paid sometimes. I got a bonus in all 3 of my fights, which was a little bit of like a ease the pain a little bit, but it's still that empty feeling where it's just like not that I did all that for nothing, but you just don't have the same satisfaction as easily as I can put it. You just feel empty after that. So I'm putting all the pressure in the world on myself. I need to not only go out there and have a great performance, but I need to win. I need to win by any means necessary. But I'm definitely looking to make a statement in this one. That's
Yeah,
the hunt.
and yourself, man, you are a big featherweight, and you talked about 155 a little bit. You said it's definitely in your future. How long until we see you at lightweight? Because I see a lot of fire matchups up there, man. There's a lot of
Yeah,
tough dudes.
of course, but there's a lot of great matchups at 145 still,
Yeah.
like this one. This is a great fight. There's a reason why when the Strickland fight versus Rockhold fell out that they put us on this spot. I'm not too surprised that they bumped us up. This is a guaranteed banger. It's just like my last. I don't even know. Yeah, definitely my last 3 fights have just been guaranteed bangers, and they've all lived up to it. So this one, I don't see how it could be. He's coming to bring it. I'm coming to bring it. We're gonna meet in the middle, and we're gonna clash.
And probably the best or the most stacked card of the year. Would you, you know, of course you're biased, but you know what I'm
No,
saying?
not. I am biased, but I don't know. That December 11th card is looking pretty good to me too, man.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
it is pretty good. So I don't know. You could say 50-50 on that. I'm not gonna be too biased. That card is. I'm excited for that card.
Yeah, for sure. And at the top of the division, it almost seems like. Do you feel like Max Holloway is a clear #1 contender, or do you feel it's up for grabs right now? Someone could take it away from him.
I mean, if Max wins, there's no question. I just don't see who if Max beats Yair the week after my fight. I don't see how anyone could question that. But then same thing can be said about Yair. If Yair wins, then yeah, he has to get that title shot. So I think that fight is definitely the #1 contender spot. I can't think of anyone. I think Giga's fighting. Who's he fighting again? He's fighting Kate. So that's in January though. So I don't know. I don't see them not giving it to Max or Yair though. Honestly,
What do you want to see from a fan's perspective? Do you want to see the third fight with Max, or do you want to see Yair a fresh matchup?
uh, I'm cool with a third fight honestly because that second fight was so razor close and the fact that the champ is so cool with it shows he knows that fight was really close. That was razor. Both fights were close, but that one was really close. So I'm cool with the third fight for sure.
Before the second fight in on Fight Island between Volk and Holloway, so USADA tested him the night before the fight. They woke him up and tested him, right? Have you ever had some weird interactions with USADA like that?
No, I mean, funny. My daughter's 4 years old now, and I've been getting tested almost every time by the same guy. And right when my daughter was born, we brought her home after being in the hospital for 2 days. The first day we're home, somebody knocked on the door. And I was like, who the fuck's knocking on the door at 7 a.m.? And it was USADA, and I just got home from the hospital the night before, so I was like, that's crazy. But that guy's awesome. Yeah, I've been seeing that guy forever. He saw my daughter since she was a newborn. Now he knows she's 4.5 years old. But the last time I saw USADA was my front door is right by, I got a bathroom right by my front door. So I wake up, first thing you got to do is take a piss, right? So I go downstairs, take a piss, and I hear somebody ring the doorbell. I'm like, who's ringing the doorbell at 8? Oh my God, no. So I'm taking a piss. I literally finished pissing. He comes in, and I'm like, I just peed. I'm gonna drink some coffee. I'm gonna drink a bunch of water, but you're probably gonna have to be here for a while. So it was just me and him hanging out with my family. Another USADA guy too. So we were just hanging out for an hour before training. Like this was maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm like, this is so fucking annoying. You go to piss and only a little tinkle comes out. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, when you need it, you don't have it, right?
Actually, you put it on the file.
Yeah, it's the worst. One last question, man. It's an open-ended question. You could answer it any way you want. What keeps you up at night?
Oh man, my mind races a lot at night. That's why I need the TV on. That's what my wife always says. Like, just just sit with your thoughts. I'm like, no, we don't sit with my thoughts. When I have a fight, the fight is on my mind. The fight is on my mind. 99% of the time, I'd say, honestly. So right now, that's on my mind. But aside from that, food is on my mind too. Honestly, that keeps me up at night. Like last night, I was starving last night. I couldn't go to sleep. I was like, what the hell's going on? And go to sleep till like 12. And I was like, you know what? I got to eat a little bit of something just to wake myself up. Not wake my body up so I can go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
The
And what are you
fight is
watching? What are you turning on at night?
to go to sleep. I'm honestly just watching something like mindless and stupid, like Family Guy or something like that. But like right now, I'm watching. It's Guys Grocery Games. Always watching the Food Channel. That it's on 24/7.
Yeah.
And my daughter's even like, Dad, do we have to watch this every time? I'm like, just a couple more days, baby. Just a couple more days.
It always trips me out that fighters during camp, in a way they torture themselves.
Yeah.
Just so when they can eat, it's just much better for them.
Yeah, man, you should see my Instagram like explore page. Like when you press the search button,
Yeah.
it's just food. It's food. Like I have a group chat with my friends. It's called Fat Guy Shit. That we just send each other different food memes and TikToks and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Much different than most people. If you push their explore button on their Instagram, much different from other people.
That mine's like literally food and fighting. That's all.
Yeah.
Only two things you see there.
For sure, man. Well, November 6th, man, you're back in action. UFC 268,
Yes,
New York City. Pretty much your home ground, your home territory. Thank you so much, Shane, for the time, and good luck to you, man. And best of luck to your family, man. I know your family is growing day by day.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Always fun to talk to you, man.